Coming up on Vegas Station Game Day, another road contest, this time in the nation's capital. The Raiders gearing up to take on the Washington Commanders, learning from their loss in primetime against the Chargers. The Silver and Black are ready to go once again.
Yeah, we didn't change anything for us at all, and we've talked about both guys playing all week long, and we've looked at film of both guys all week long. We have to get out there and get our game right and make sure that everybody's got their head in the right direction, and we're going and playing a great football game.
With Washington quarterback Jane Daniels ruled out for this game, we'll get you set for that duel in D.C. and all the latest surrounding the Commanders. Vegas Station Game Day starts right now.
Powered by the Las Vegas Review-Journal, this is Vegas Nation Game Day. Presented by D&R House of Diamonds, making luxury affordable. Located in the One Summerlin building in downtown Summerlin.
Getting you all set for Week 3. I'm Dominic, and thank you all for tuning in. This is Vegas Station Game Day. The Raiders are heading to the nation's capital to take on the Commanders, but Washington is without quarterback Jaden Daniels, who's out this week with a knee injury. Now, for how this can impact the game, we're going to bring in Raiders beat writer Vinny Bonsignore for Vinny's Vision.
Thanks, Dom. No Jaden Daniels for the Washington Commanders. That seemingly makes life a little bit easier for the Raiders making that cross-country trip to Washington, D.C. But I wouldn't get too excited if I'm a Raider fan. Marcus Mariota is a pretty darn good quarterback. He had to come in 3 times last year for an injured Jaden Daniels and played pretty darn good in Cliff Kingsbury's offense. 4 touchdowns, over 77% completion percentage, over 400 yards, no interceptions, and really the Commanders didn't miss a beat. So if I'm the Raiders, I'm not thinking of this as, oh, life is great because Jaden Daniels isn't in there. It's more about what do we got to do to stop Marcus Mariota. And really this game to me is a lot more about the Raiders than whoever is over there on the Washington Commanders. They got to clean up the turnovers. They got to start scoring in the red zone. 0 for 3 is never going to get it done. You can't throw 3 interceptions like Geno Smith did. And obviously you got to win on 3rd downs and you got to win the field position battle as well. But the fact of the matter is Jaden Daniels is one of the most dynamic players in the NFL, even though he's barely 2 years into his career, really just a year and some games into his career. So it's not Jaden Daniels, it's Marcus Mariota, but life is not that much easier for the Raiders. They got to go take care of business in Washington.
All right, thank you, Vinny. Now for a big-name wideout Marcus Mariota can throw to on Sunday. The man with a brand-new contract, Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry as he's known as, drew headlines of the offseason after a contract dispute, and at the end of it, he in fact got his new deal he was waiting for, but since then, he only has 7 catches for 75 yards through 2 games this year and not a single touchdown. But that veteran wide receiver has had explosive years in the past. Some Raiders DBs speaking on the matchup against the Washington Commanders wideouts.
With Terry, you already know Terry. Terry is a great wide receiver, vertical threat. He's willing to take the top off. Doesn't matter. He can come across the middle, do a lot of different things.
You just got to give him attention. You know what I mean? You have to respect him. He declares that respect. He's earned all the respect. So you got to respect him and give him attention.
Now to the Raiders' backfield. The coaching staff for the Silver and Black catching some flack from fans after Ashton Jeanty's first 2 games. Now Jeanty seems like he's ready after saying this on Wednesday.
There's a learning curve to the NFL for every single rookie that comes in. I think it's really rare that a guy comes in and just flat out balling off the rip. So I'm not, feeling no type of way towards it. I just, like I said, I need to get better, and the big time performances that everybody might be expecting, those will come. But I don't think you draft a guy like me to not give me carries and touches, and I'm ready for the responsibility, and like I said. It's going to start with me and, in the run game, and I got to continue to get better.
Now, Jeanty only has 30 carries so far this season with 81 rushing yards and 1 touchdown, which admittedly isn't what people want to see out of the 6th overall pick. Head coach Pete Carroll says there's more to be done with his top draft pick.
We want more of him. He ran very well when he had the ball, and so we just needed to get more snaps.
Now we'll see if Jeanty gets more carries this week against the Commanders, but we're going to go ahead and continue this numbers-heavy show with Heidi Fang joining us with a look at some stats to look out for with the hard count.
Thanks, Dom. Let's get into this week's numbers, starting with the run game. Fans have been on alert with the Silver and Black ranking 31st in rushing yards in the NFL. In all, the Raiders have only picked up 124 rushing yards. While that's sure to be a point of focus in this week's preparation, the flip side of that is that the defense ranks in the top 4 in stopping opponents in the run game. They've allowed just 141 rushing yards through 2 games, keeping the hard count going with 300. With 300 passing yards, quarterback Geno Smith would be the third quarterback in Raiders history to start a season with 2 games of 300-plus passing yards in the first 3 games of a season. Smith would also notch his 15th 300-yard game since 2022, tying for third most in the NFL over that span with Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. And with 1 sack, Jeremy Chinn would notch his 6th straight season with at least 1 sack. He would become one of only 7 defensive backs since 1982 to record at least 1 sack in each of his first 6 NFL seasons. I'm Heidi Fang, and those are the numbers. Back to you, Dom.
All right, now we're going to step away for just about 15 seconds, but when we come back, Todd Dewey has some betting odds for us in Week 3, plus a close look at Washington as Adam Hill flips the field, and Jeremy Chinn recognized by the NFL. We'll give you the details right after the break.
DNR House of Diamonds is Las Vegas's elite private office jeweler. We specialize in natural and lab-grown loose diamonds, engagement rings, and custom design. If you're looking for lab-grown diamonds, we have one of the largest selections at the best prices in Las Vegas. We make luxury affordable every day.
Now we link up with Adam Hill to take a look at the Commanders as he flips the field.
Another week, another familiar opponent for Pete Carroll. He's going up this week against Dan Quinn, a close friend and former protege. Last week, it was Jim Harbaugh, a longtime rival, arch nemesis. This week is a little different. Pete Carroll says the more he likes you, the more he wants to beat you. Dan Quinn was his defensive coordinator in Seattle. They run a lot of the same concepts, so it does become a little bit more challenging because you want to play that chess match of what does he do, what do I do? That is going to be intriguing to watch as this game unfolds. What kind of adjustments they make each other. They've gone against each other before, but this is a unique situation. Obviously, a backup quarterback on the other side for the Commanders. How do you kind of defense that? Dan Quinn knows how Pete Carroll's going to defense that because he was there with him before. It's going to be interesting to watch all those pieces move around, and this is going to be another big matchup for Pete Carroll and a former protege. By the way, that's going to happen all the time. He's been around a long time. He knows a lot of people.
And as promised, betting numbers for this week's action, Todd Dewey is following the money.
The Raiders opened as 6-point underdogs to the Commanders, and the line dropped to 3.5 when Jaden Daniels was listed as day-to-day with a knee injury. The line dipped to 3 on Friday when he was ruled out. The total also has plummeted from 47.5 to 43.5. There was some sharp money on the Raiders at plus 3.5, but the betting public and a pro bettor I spoke with still like the Commanders to cover behind backup quarterback Marcus Mariota. The thinking is that the Raiders are in a bad spot traveling to the East Coast for a 10 a.m. body clock game after playing in the late game on Monday night, while Washington comes in with extra rest off their loss on Thursday Night Football at Green Bay. Ashton Jeanty is minus 112 favorite to score a touchdown in this one, and the plus 575 favorite to score the first touchdown. Brock Bowers is plus 155 to score a touchdown and plus 850 to score the first TD.
Finally, Raiders safety Jeremy Chinn making an impact off the field in his first year as a Raider. Chinn named the NFLPA Community MVP for Week 3 after Chinn recently hosting an event for over 90 local teens experiencing homelessness in Nevada and providing them with free haircuts, a free backpack, shorts, hoodies, and athletic sandals. Now, the NFLPA, after this event, will be donating $10,000 to the Jeremy Chinn Foundation, and a GoFundMe page has been set up for that foundation so his fans can help support his work as well. Now, that'll do it here for Vegas Nation Game Day Week number 3. Thank you all for tuning in once again and hanging out with us as we get set up for the Commanders game. Now, as always, make sure to stay connected with us on social media at Vegas Nation and on the web at vegasnation.com. Plus, check out the First and 10 post-game podcast up in Washington to get your recap on the game. But for now, this is goodbye. Enjoy all the action, and I'll see you all next time.
Powered by the Las Vegas Review-Journal, this is Vegas Nation Game Day. Presented by DNR House of Diamonds, making luxury affordable. Located in the One Summerlin building in downtown Summerlin.